Hello YouTube, this is AG5EG. I'm going to do a quick video today to demonstrate how to generate a speech file from text in All Star HAMVOIP software. This was by request from a friend of mine who has a repeater as well as I do, and he was struggling a little bit with this, so he asked me to show him how to do it, and so I figured I just generate a video, post up on YouTube to show him how to do it, and then hopefully if anybody else is watching this and you're struggling with it, you'll learn from it too. So with that, let's kind of show you what we're going to do. There is a how-to on how to do this in Supermon. So if you're in your Supermon and you go to All Star How-Tos, here it is, text-to-speech how-to. And this is what we're going to use. There's a couple different methods they show in here. This method right here is the easiest and the least complicated, so that's what we're going to use, and that's using voicerss.org. voicerss.org is a free service. It's free, 100% free, but in order to use it, you've got to get an API key to do it. So, in this case, we already have a key that we're going to use, but the first thing we need to do is we need to log into our node using SSH. If you're using Windows, you can use PuTTY or WinSCP or some other terminal emulating software. I'm using a Mac, so I can do it directly from the command line. And to make it even simpler, I built a shortcut that will issue the SSH command for me. It's called 900SM. I'm going to hit enter. I am going to enter the password. Okay, and then I'm going to go to start a bash shell interface. Okay, we're at the command line. So, first thing we need to do is we need to go into the tts.conf file and enter the key. So I'm going to use Nano, which to me is probably the most awesome text editor in Linux world. Very simple to use. So I'm going to say nano, and the file is located at user local etc tts.conf. Okay, hit enter. There it is. So as you can see here, I've already entered the key here. This is what you do. This line will be blank, right? It'll just say TTS key equal. You just go copy your key from the website that you generated on voicerss.org, and you copy it and paste it in right here. The other thing to talk about in this file is this section right here, the TTS_R. If you look at the comments, it says it's the speech rate. It's how fast that the voice is going to read the message that you type in. Right now it's set at -1. That's about the middle. You can set it faster, you can set it slower just by changing this value here, right here. Okay? This value right here. We've got our key in, we've got our speech rate set. We're going to save it. Right? Okay, now we're going to, first we got to give it the text that we want it to say. And we do that by using a text file. Okay, so again, I'm going to type in nano. I'm in the temp directory, and I always like to do these kind of things in the temp directory because it's these things are temporary. We're going to generate our speech file here, and then we'll move it to where we need to move it in order to get it to play on the repeater. But for right now, we're just going to use temp. Keep in mind though, if you leave something here in temp, the next time you upgrade your HAMVOIP software or reboot your server, whatever you have in here, it's going to disappear. Okay, this version of Linux that HAMVOIP runs on clears the temp directory whenever the node gets rebooted. So, but our file is going to be called node-id.txt. Okay, and you'll see that we're going to have a blank file. So we're just going to type in our message. This is the IR repeater. Okay, so that's what we got. This is the WA5AIR repeater. You notice how I spaced out the WA5AIR. You have to do that if you want to actually read the letters. If you leave it all together, it'll say this is the WAIR repeater, or WAISAIR, or however it tries to interpret the number 5 in there. So when you want to spell something out, you have to leave spaces between the letters. Same thing with numbers. Let's say you say I have a PL tone of 103.5. If you type it like this, it'll say PL tone 103.5. You may want that, or you say it will say PL tone 103.5. Okay, but this is what we're going to work with. We're just going to call it, this is the WA5AIR repeater. I'm going to hit Control X to exit, yes to save, yes I want node-id.txt to be my file name, and look in the directory. Here is my text file. Okay, so now we're going to generate a speech file from this. Okay, and so to do that, there is a shell script already built in HAMVOIP to do this for you. All you got to do is type in tts_audio.sh and then give it your text file name. In this case, it's going to be node-id.txt. And it's done. If I do an ls, now I have a node-id-ul. That is the name of the file. That's the speech file right there. It's in ULAW format. So now we want to know if this actually works. You know, does it work? Will it play? So there's two ways we can go about it. I'll show you the way by going into asterisk, or you can do it all in one line. I'll show that to you. I'll only play this once. Okay, so to play it, we're going to go into asterisk using asterisk-rvvv. Okay, and here I am, and our command is going to be rpt local play. You want to use local play because if you use playback, you can either use your local play or playback. Local play plays it locally only on the local node. Playback will broadcast it to every node that is connected to your All Star node. So if you're connected to a reflector or a repeater group or whatever, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60 repeaters, if you use playback, it will play your message on each and every repeater that you're connected to. And reflector operators and network operators, they don't like that. So we're going to use RPT local play 48350, and we're going to say node-id.txt, and we should hear it play. And somebody keyed up the repeater there. And the other thing that I forgot, I really kind of messed this up. We should use temp / let me turn that down. Somebody's chunking repeaters. I actually typed that command in wrong. This is the proper way. It's rpt space local play space node number space /temp /node ID without any kind of extension. Okay, not .text, not node ID.ul, just node ID. And now, since the chunking is gone off the repeater, we should hear it play this time around.
This is the WA5AIR repeater.
Okay, so it worked. All right, so now we can get out of asterisk. Now, I will type out the command for you to see the other way to play it back. And you type in asterisk -RX, and you're going to do open quote RPT local play, node number, temp, again, node-ID only, close quotes. And if you hit enter, you'll hear it play again. We're not going to do that. Okay, we already know that our speech file works. I'm not going to play it again. So now that we have it, we know we got a good speech file and it's playing at the speed that we want. We need to move this to someplace more permanent so that it will survive a reboot. So what we're going to do is we're going to move it over to the asterisk directory. So we're going to say move node-id.txt, and we're going to move it to etc asterisk local. Okay, and away we go. It moved it. So that was the text file. We don't want the text file. Well, we can leave the text file over there because again, you may have to generate the speech file again. So it's not a bad idea to move it over there, although you don't have to. But this is the file we actually wanted. All right, so now let's go to etc asterisk local, do an ls, and you see that we've got our node-id.text, our node-id.ul. You also see this node-id.gsm. We're going to want to get rid of that, okay? Because when we go into the RPT file to set up the node ID settings, these two will conflict. We're going to, again, just like we did in asterisk, we'll say node ID, nothing else, like up here, and it won't know which one of these two files to play. So let's just go ahead, well, let's just do this. Let's just rename it. Node, move node, dash ID.gsm to node 1D.gsm. We can always change it back if we want to, do an ls. Now, even though it's still there, it's called node 1D.gsm. It's not going to conflict. You'll see here in a second in the RPT file when we go into the RPT file and set up our node ID settings. Okay, so now let's go into our our rpt.conf file. Okay, so let's type in nano etc asterisk rpt.conf. Okay, so we're in it now. Of course, you know, if you've been in one of these rpt.conf files, you know they're quite big. But what we're going to do, we're just going to do a search. I know what section we need to go to, so we're going to hit Control W and then type in ID space settings, all caps. Yep. Got to get it right. ID SETTIN. Okay. No, search for ID settings and all caps. And here we are. All right, so here's where we set how we want this node ID and playback to go. You notice here, this line is coming, it's called ID recording etc asterisk local node dash ID. Okay, we're going to uncomment that line. And then we're going to come down here to ID recording equals IDEWA5AIR /R. That's the CW IDer. So right now the node, when it IDs, normally it IDs in Morse code. We don't want it to do that. We want it to play our voice file that we just created. So we're going to comment that line. But we don't want it to play voice when somebody's talking on the air and it's going to ID in the background. So what we want to do is we want to uncomment this line, this ID talkover. That will, if somebody happens to be talking and the repeater IDs, it'll play in Morse in the background instead of reading the voice. Okay, so with all those settings changed, we're going to hit Control X, yes, hit Enter, and it should be done. But one thing we need to do is we need to go over here to our Supermon and All Star, and we need to do an IAX RPT DP reload. That will tell the server, hey, go out and reread the rpt.conf file, so it'll activate the settings we just changed. And we'll click OK. And there you see it's executing asterisk -rs. It reloaded it. So now the repeater should ID with voice every 10 minutes when nobody's on the air. And if somebody happens to be talking, it should ID in Morse in the background. Okay? I know I've made a couple flub ups in this video, but I hope it's helpful. Hope it helps you. If it doesn't, you think I'm an idiot, leave comments below. All right? Thank you, and 73s.